And now, this year, whilst I have been Lord Mayor of London, it has been possible for me to carry out what has long been in my heart, the establishment of a home and college where crippled children can be received, treated for their disease, educated, and taught a practical method of getting their living in the future.
So William actually had a relatively modest childhood himself, but I think maybe it was that which made him more aware of some of the challenges that other people were experiencing. He was quite an unusual character for the time, and his attitude in wanting to sort of help disabled people, but also to provide an education so that they could become sort of independent, was not the general consensus amongst sort of Victorian and Edwardian society at the time.
Treloar was a very, very kindly man. Sadly, he and his wife had no children. They did bring up a nephew and a girl called Florence, who took their name, Florence Treloar. When he was in London, being an alderman and so on, he obviously noticed in those days, if you couldn't get into a school, you probably didn't get any education. So he started with the hampers at Christmas and so on, and then migrated on from there.
And the first year they took the hampers on, they handed out 200. 4 years later, they were handing out 7,000. That, in a nutshell, gives you the drive, the capacity, and the commitment of this team. So William at the front, with Annie behind, supporting him and pushing him on.
He was quite inventive in the ways in which he approached fundraising. One of the things he did to raise funds for the school was to write the preface for a special edition of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Dickens was somebody that he was particularly a fan of because his novels offer a really sort of insightful social commentary into what Victorian society was like at the time. And he really plays on the sort of characters of people like Tiny Tim in the book to appeal to sort of Christian sympathies. So when the students first came to Treloar's, there were obviously two different parts to the hospital and the college, which was for slightly older students. So it would depend on which part you were assigned to. If you came to the hospital, when you first arrived, you might actually spend a few days in observation just so that the medical staff could work out what course of treatment you would need and start to plan your education as well. And then once you were on the wards, your school day would be a mixture of sort of formal education, so things in reading and writing and arithmetic, as you might expect. But there was also a big focus upon various different handicrafts, so things like basket weaving, embroidery and sewing, because it was understood that that was quite a good way of helping students to build up dexterity and sort of muscle strength and things like that. All of the orthopaedic equipment was actually made on site by the students themselves. So these were highly skilled work that the students were undertaking. There was a huge focus upon trying to ensure that once these young people left school and college, they would be able to be financially independent, because at the time, opportunities for employment for disabled people were far more limited than they are today. As the reputation of the school spread, and it was seen to be doing very, very good work, there was actually quite a long waiting list for students to be able to come to the hospital and to come to the school. So you would get pupils coming from every county in England and Wales. There was an example of one boy, when his family eventually came to visit him, actually didn't recognise him and came and visited with the wrong pupil instead. And the reason for that was because when a lot of the students would first come to the school, they would be quite frail in appearance, possibly very, very unwell. And the conditions at the hospital and the school were created to promote good health. So there was a real focus upon making sure that the young people had a balanced diet and had plenty of food, lots and lots of fresh air compared to the sort of smoggy, polluted conditions of the cities. So it was all designed to try and encourage them to be much healthier. The sort of primary condition which was being treated at the hospital was tuberculosis, which is obviously not something that we encounter in today's society very often at all. But it was a disease primarily associated with people from the working classes because of their sort of poorer living conditions and malnutrition being a sort of a breeding ground for disease spreading. So a lot of the young people who came would have been from poorer families.
We've got a mini museum of Sir William's artefacts, some of these beautiful caskets with an English enamel on the top, but they're made of solid silver, which he'd done some wonderful work and someone wanted to recognise him, so they gave him as a gift. We have trowels where he laid the foundation stones in children's homes all around, from Leicestershire all the way down to Hampshire. He was a mover and a shaker, and people recognise that. We're proud of the awards that Sir William got because he's the measure of the man. He obviously is our man, he's our image. We have been going 110 years. There's more than 20,000 people have been through our doors that we've helped in a positive way just because of this guy. We've fundraised millions of pounds over the years because of the legacy he left us. And to see that he opened children's homes and we've got the trowel made of solid silver, that's how much they appreciated him.
What's really interesting about studying a school like this is that you really see changes in approaches, not only in terms of how the curriculum changes, but also changing attitudes towards disability and a changing understanding of what disabled people are capable of and the contribution that they make to society. One of the problems that I encounter a lot in my research about disabled people is that they are often absent in a lot of the sort of official records that are kept. And one of the reasons for that is because those perspectives from disabled people themselves were not necessarily considered worthwhile saving. So that really does reflect quite a change in attitude to how we see disabled people today, because in the past disabled people were perhaps understood not necessarily to make a huge contribution to society. And this is something which is starting to change in this period where the school is founded, but certainly in contemporary society today has shifted considerably.
It was very interesting finding out things to do with the history of Treloar. I found out why Gavain House is called Gavain, because the first healthcare commissioner was called Henry Gavain.
My name is Phoebe. I've been a student at Treloar for 5 years. My favorite thing about Treloar is helping me to talk to people more confidently.
On the 9th of November next, I cease to be Lord Mayor of London, and I hope to devote the remaining years of my life to carrying on the work which has been commenced this year, the work of saving the life and restoring the health of the afflicted little ones of our country. Everyone can help, and I ask everyone to do so.
Lord Mayor, Lords, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Well, normally I would be saying welcome to our gala dinner, but this year, of course, we can't. Every year we are invited to the Mansion House. It's a wonderful gift where we normally have a gala dinner and raise a great deal of money from very generous people to invest in our young people at Treloar. Unfortunately, this year we can't do that, but I just wanted to take a moment to tell you that we have worked to the highest professional standards to be COVID safe with all of our staff and students, to bring you an evening of entertainment and information. And we come here every year. We've been coming to Mansion House for 100 odd years. William Purdy Treloar, back in 1907, started the ball rolling. We're extremely proud of our links with the city. So with no further ado, may I hand you over to the Lord Mayor of the City of London. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to welcome you this evening to Treloar's live event. At this time of year, I would usually be speaking to you in the Mansion House from the Egyptian Hall. But sadly, as we all know, with the situation in the world today, these things simply are not possible at the moment. That said, I am honored to be here with you tonight and offer my wholehearted support to Treloar's, which I'm sure you will all agree is a truly wonderful charity. I have had the privilege of seeing firsthand the quality education and training each student at Treloar's receives. It is humbling to think that it was the work and determination of Sir William Purdy Treloar, when he was Lord Mayor of London, which set up Treloar's over 112 years ago. The ethos of enabling independence and focusing on ability rather than disability still resounds through the place today. It is our job as supporters of Treloar's to protect the future of this very special place, ensuring that the young people who have the most complex physical disabilities can continue to receive top-class education and care, together with learning the skills they need to thrive in their future lives. At a time when the world is uncertain, we need to keep Treloar's a constant for the young people who so rely on their support. As you enjoy the event this evening, I would ask you to consider the ways in which you may be able to help the students at Treloar's, whether that is giving a donation, a gift in kind, or supporting in some other way. All are valued. However you choose, you can be safe in the knowledge that your support will go towards providing quality care and education and helping some truly inspirational young people, some of whom you will have the pleasure of meeting this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lord Mayor, for those kind words. We're very proud of our link to the city and the Lord Mayor in particular. And this evening, we've got a lot to get through. We're going to introduce you to some Treloar students. You're going to see behind the scenes and meet some of our wonderful staff. And of course, we shall be meeting Alastair Stewart, a patron and a good friend of Treloar's. He will be using his journalistic talents to find out what it was like to return to Treloar's after the first lockdown, which was, well, over 5 months. We will then have a piece of music from the wonderful Treloar Orchestra. But first, let's have a look and see what a special place Treloar's really is.
It's a lovely place to be. Lovely people.
There's nowhere else in the world that offers this. They have every single aspect that I need in one place.
Treloar is special because it's the only place where I feel like I belong.
We really have that feeling of family here. We all support each other. We're very close to the families, and we take, a great responsibility for the students in our care. And all we want is for them to be happy, healthy, and to achieve the very best that they can achieve.
It's quite remarkable, really, considering the level of her disability, how average and sort of mainstream, if you like, her social life is.
I enjoy the social atmosphere of being on the house with other students with similar disabilities as I have.
My eye gaze means I can talk to people, I can email my friends, I can take photos and go on Facebook, which I couldn't do before.
Sport definitely helps build friendships between our students. It helps them think about the aspect of teamwork, particularly with football and hockey and things like that, where they're really having to work together.
Later on in my years, I'd like to be a Paralympian, definitely.
That's what's so good about Treloar's. He's got access to sport, which he just wouldn't have in mainstream. He would not have the access or be able to be involved as much.
Many of our students who have come from mainstream schools might not have had the opportunity to perform very much, so we make sure that all the students feel that they are comfortable in an environment to do that. The main thing, and the thing that we do the best, I think, is make sure that there is an atmosphere and a commitment to inclusion.
The music teacher inspires me to push myself beyond what's expected of me.
I don't see it as a job, I see it as an opportunity to change people's perception of disability and focus on the positives of disability than the negatives.
When you come to work, it kind of almost isn't like coming to work, and you can walk around and the sun will be shining and all of the kids are having a good time, they're laughing, they're engaged, the staff are happy.
They are an inspiration to all who work here and all who know them.
The outcome that I'm planning to achieve from being here at Treloar's is to try and live as independently as possible by learning to cook independently, learning where the support is if I need it, and just trying to see that even though I have a disability, I can still live as independently as I can.
It helps people to become a lot more independent and also a lot more confident.
Let's go. Like that a lot.
Go on, it's your chance. You'll have a good time, make loads of friends, and have a really good time.
You can donate by credit and debit card, or pledge by calling our donation line 01420 547 477. Or you can donate online at treloar.org.uk/support-us. You can also text to donate. Just text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message.
As you can imagine, COVID has been an enormous challenge to the whole of Treloar's. The staff who have to wear face masks and personal protective equipment, and then when you have 300,000 PPE masks and gowns and gloves come in, you have to find somewhere to put them. Things at Treloar's have changed dramatically for the staff in a way that we can keep life as normal as possible for the students, but for the staff things are very, very different. And all of this is led by our senior team, and a leading role in that senior team is our Chief Executive, Mr. Simon Birch.
Lord Mayor, liverymen, guests and loyal supporters, welcome from all of us to this very special performance of the Treloar School Orchestra. We're absolutely thrilled that even though we cannot meet at Mansion House this year, you're still tuning in to hear our amazing orchestra play, to find out what's been going on at Treloar's and to offer your support. Treloar's is a charity that operates a school and college for children and young adults with physical disabilities. Every year we have to raise $2 million to enable our students to access the specialist staff, equipment and experience they need to grow in confidence and live a fulfilled life. With your support, we can help all our young people achieve so much more than they or their parents could ever have imagined possible. Since William Treloar, then Lord Mayor, founded Treloar's in 1907, the City of London and its livery movement have provided invaluable support to Treloar's. Every year, thanks to the generosity of the Lord Mayor, Treloar's have held a fundraising dinner to support a key element of the service that we offer. This year, and despite the fact that you have not been wined and dined, we are looking for you to support our Impact programme. 90% of Treloar's students rely upon wheelchairs to get around, and our Impact Fund is absolutely crucial to ensure that they have the right wheelchair for their individual needs. Sometimes students will literally outgrow their wheelchair. For others, a powered wheelchair is the difference between being pushed and having some independence. Impact, a project within Treloar's, gives students the opportunity to upgrade their wheelchair from the standard issue to give them something more suitable. Your support for programs such as Impact is welcome at any time, but particularly at the moment. COVID-19 has hit charities very hard, and Treloar's has been no exception. our incomes have been reducing just as our costs have been rising. And whilst headline PPE costs have partly been covered by government grants, this is only a very small element of the extra costs faced. Of far more significance is the cost of staff time, and as you can imagine, the efficiency of individually cleaning, donning and removing PPE, working in small team bubbles and working at distance are all substantial, not to mention the added tasks that need to be performed and extra support we need to provide to families. Another additional expense is space. I'm sure that those of you who've been lost in Treloar's corridors will consider our campus large. But add in 2-metre distancing rules and over 1,000 staff and students, and it's quickly bursting at the seams. A new and extra semi-permanent dining room and 7 new bathrooms only scratch at the surface of the new costs faced to keep our students safe, and so much more is needed. These are not the only extra costs. Well ventilated translate to open the windows and turn the heating up. Sanitize and wash means double your cleaning contract, whilst isolating students who may be showing symptoms, which is common enough with inherently sick children, will reduce the finance director to tears. So lots of extra costs, but also potentially less money. Our fundraising efforts have been hit by a slowdown in events and opportunities to talk to our supporters. Luckily, some of our supporters have been very generous over recent months, but overall the picture is challenging, which is why events like today are so important. We exist to give our students the best possible opportunities in life, and thanks to our brilliant staff, whose eyes smile under masks whilst they go above and beyond, we continue to deliver on that goal. Treloar's remains a special place, and many of you will be anxious to find out whether or not we can keep that special feeling in these very challenging times. The answer is very clearly yes, and I hope that today goes some way towards showing you how that spirit continues.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, we always try to do what is best for our students. Fundraising is going to be extraordinarily difficult, probably for the next 2 or 3 years. So anything that you might be able to do this evening to help us would be wonderful. The gala dinner this year was supposed to be purely held in support of our internal programme, Impact. Impact is the mobility project within Treloar's, and grants are made to young people who may wish to move from manual to electric wheelchairs. They may need new wheels, they may need new seating to make them comfortable in their existing chair. But the whole purpose of Impact is to make young people as independent as they can possibly be. And we're very proud that over 890 grants have been made from the Impact programme. And anything that you give or can give this evening will be given towards the Impact project. And now we're going to go over and see someone who has benefited from the programme, Owen.
Mine old power wheel broke down, and mine old let me know about Impact. Could she help me with all the paperwork? And it was very easy. On my phone, I have an app where I can connect my wheel, and if I know if I doing somewhere, I can check the speed, and I only need to sail. And hills it will beg for me if I say it on my phone. It will keep doing at the speed, and there is even an option to make it to very fast. I took a minute and it fit in the book fine. And it's easy to take on airplane without any problem. I am more independent. They allow me to do into town. I like summer. I even went to Hungary.
Well, I think that was amazing. Those wheels have changed Owen's life. I mean, as Owen's condition worsens and his strength in his arms weakens, those wheels can just be turned up and Owen will have his independence much longer. And that's purely because we managed to find quite a modest amount of money to invest in those wheels to change Owen's life. I'd just like to remind you that you still have the wonderful performance of the Treloar Orchestra to come. That has been arranged by our musical director. I must call her Miss Watkins, or Jocelyn Watkins, out of hours. And I would also just like to say something about our head teacher of school, who is going to speak to you now about the Chill Out Zone. The Chill Out Zone was a wonderful project. It is a student common room, and Sir David Brewer, who is a former Lord Mayor, he came along and cut the first turf. I was there. It was a rather nice day in April, and it was the very first building of Vision Treloar's, which was the project to co-locate school and college onto one campus to make the charity financially more secure. So over to Mia.
We're currently in the Chill Out Zone. So the Chill Out Zone was the first project in the centenary project for Treloar's in 2008, and Sir David Brewer cut the first turf here for us, which was very exciting. So this is a multi-use space for all of our students to come and hang out in. It's a space where they can come and socialise in the evenings. It's a space where they can come and hang out on their own during the day, but it also then has other dual uses as well. We've had sports events that they've watched here, the Rugby World Cup, for example, football in the evenings. We have film club, social club. We have a bar for our college students to be able to run and manage. So it's quite an exciting dual-use space for the students here. We've been very fortunate to be able to utilise this for our primary students. When I first joined a few years ago, primary was quite a small cohort, and it's now grown, which is exciting, brilliant for us. But it meant that we then needed to find a space that we could use safely to ensure that the students could have their care and their breaks and lunches in a COVID-secure environment that still actually allowed them to be children, to still have fun together and socialise together, but with many of the measures that we need in place. So we now use this space for students to access for their breaks, their lunches, both in the morning and afternoon break. And we also have some links with the house where breakfast and evening meals are also offered if we need the space. The students actually chose the name themselves. I believe it was handed over to them to decide what they wanted to name it, and they chose the Chill Out Zone. But I think also we feel it encompasses a little bit of the vibe and the ambience that we want them to have, that this is a space for them. It's their space, it's run by them, it's supported, it's their voice very much heard within it, and it's a space where they can really chill out and just take a weight off really from the day-to-day craziness of the classroom.
To make this a special evening and to donate tonight to Treloar's, this is all you need to do.
To donate by pledge or credit and debit card, please call our donation line on 01420 547 477. You can also donate online at treloar.org.uk/support-us. Simply text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message.
Thank you. Your movement has been extraordinarily generous to Treloar's over the 112 odd years of its existence, and we're very proud of that support. And clearly you are very proud of Treloar's because you have helped us over all of those years. It would be wrong for me to mention individual livery companies, but all of you have contributed, whether it be to dietitians, visually impaired. You've always stood up and helped us when we've needed to modify our buildings to make them either legal or secure or safe or better for our young people. This is very much appreciated. The last gala dinner we were able to hold at Mansion House raised a colossal £58,000, and it purchased a whole bus in one go, which was an amazing achievement, which we were extraordinarily thrilled with. And our principal, Martin Ingram, is going to show you that bus now.
We've got 7 buses here at Treloar's, and they're really important to the students' independence and to enable them to really access the curriculum. Students can go out on work experience. They can go to, we've got a really successful internship program this year where students are actually working, going out into the workplace. They wouldn't be able to achieve that in many cases without our specialist buses. In addition, students have appointments at hospitals. They may need to go to particular specialist dentist, for example, and that can be arranged using our fleet of transport. You can imagine it would be hugely difficult and inconvenient and disruptive for them to have to arrange those via their parents. We're very fortunate to have a GP service here on site too, and 25 nurses that work with the students. And if they need that extra support from consultants or from particular hospital or specialist care, then we can arrange for them to actually go and visit those consultants in situ rather than have them wait for an appointment at home. Because of the lack of available transport locally, these are a real lifeline for the people who are residential. We have a number of students here who are following A-level or similar type programmes at local FE colleges and sixth form colleges. And there's an outstanding sixth form college down the road, and our students are able to access the full range of the curriculum because we can deliver quite a lot here, but we clearly can't deliver the full range of BTECs and A-level qualifications. By having this fleet of vehicles, it gives them a chance to have access to all of those qualifications. So you can be resident here and you can go down on a daily basis with one of our drivers, and then that enables interaction with the local population and interaction with a mainstream setting. And particularly if those students are thinking of going to university and moving on to employment afterwards, then that's something that's really important to establish that familiarity with that different environment. The Mansion House dinner in 2018 fully funded this vehicle behind me, and that's made a tremendous difference to the experience of our young people and the staff that work with them. And I think the support we've had from Mansion House Gala dinner and from the livery companies has been absolutely crucial in establishing and maintaining the fleet. And without that, I think students would have been denied the opportunity really of getting involved in so many activities, sporting activities, cultural activities, and again accessing the curriculum. And that's been a real game changer for us, having this fleet of vehicles with specialist trained drivers. And the great thing with some of these buses as well is that all staff can be trained up to drive them, and we are a Midas training centre which enables regular members of staff to support the students and go out either as class groups or individually taking students to particular appointments or work experience.
Now don't forget that we still have our orchestral performance to come. We have our close friend and patron Alastair Stewart, who is going to use his journalistic talents to find out what it was like to return to Treloar's after the first lockdown. But first, we're going to meet Andre. Andre is a student who has been at Treloar's for 10 years. And we just wanted to show you some of the opportunities and achievements that are possible at Treloar's over that period of time. This is such an important interview, we thought we should send our best looking and most dashing reporter to get the information for you. Over to Andre. Now, you have been here a decade, and
Yes, I have.
we just wanted to chat to you about some of the things you've done in all of the time.
I've been at Treloar's.
Exactly. Now, when you first came here, it
Yes.
wasn't this site, was it?
No,
You
it wasn't.
You were at Froyle?
Foyle.
Was that a beautiful place?
Yes, it was.
And how long were you there?
I started in 2012, and they moved to where we are now in 2013, 14.
Yeah. So you had about a year down at the old school.
Yeah.
And then you had to travel all the way up to here. Was that good fun, or was that a bit of a challenge?
Bit nervous at the time, but my mum said I'll be all right.
Good.
I settled myself in. I made lots of friends over the years, and that's it.
Good. So I like to go through some of those years because you've had some real triumphs in your time here, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Let's go back to the book days. We used to have book days, and people used to dress up in different costumes. And we've got pictures of you as Roy of the Rovers.
Yes, we have.
So why did they think Roy of the Rovers was suitable for you on book day?
My friend's Barbara got me a Huddersfield town top, and my mum said, "Oh, you can wear that into college, into school," and so I did.
Because you actually have a unique. You support two football teams, don't you? I've got to say it, Manchester United
and Reading
Football Club. And is Reading your local team?
Yes.
And you go there fairly often?
Yes, I do. Well, not now you can't.
But used to, yeah.
In the olden days.
Now, moving on.
Yes.
I've seen some pictures of you, and I just wondered whether you actually really flew or whether you were in a simulator. But you went on an air ability day, didn't you?
Yes, I did, and I took my mum up in the plane.
You actually took your mum up into an aeroplane?
Yeah.
And flew it?
They're trying to invite me back.
Are they?
But they can't at a moment.
No, I see, because of the COVID-19.
Yes,
So you're going to go flying yet again, are you?
Hopefully in the near future.
Good, that's great news. Now, on to your sporting prowess. Now, you're pretty fit, so I know that you used to use the gym.
Yes, I did.
To keep you fit. Now, was that instrumental in your boccia career? Because
yes, it was.
We've had some very famous boccia players. David Smith, for instance, world champion.
Yeah, David Smith.
European champion. But you've medalled yourself, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
And what colour was your medal?
Silver.
So, silver medal in the boccia. Now, when you think how competitive boccia is, a silver medal in the boccia is quite something.
Yes, it is.
But you don't limit yourself to one sport, do you?
No, I have thousands of sports.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yes, that's how you should be, yeah. And that led you into, water sports in general, and now you've got
Yes, it did. Now I've got my kayaking.
And you do that in the swimming pool?
Yes, I do.
As well as going off-site to do it?
Yeah, every summer I go off-site and do it.
Brilliant. Your sixth form, you were in the sixth form at the school before you came across to the college.
Yeah.
So what was different in the sixth form to just normal school?
In the sixth form, you had to wear your own clothes.
Oh, I see.
To prepare you to get to college.
I've got you. So no green top for year 11s then?
No, thank goodness.
Yeah. Now then, along the way, you've done all this sports and what have you, but you had quite an academic achievement too. I understand that you did entry-level English and maths.
Yes, I did with Charlotte. I'm still working on it.
Still working on it? And the ASDAN online courses, which you do?
Yes, I do.
And sports awareness, obviously, because you love sports, don't you? And you've done environmental awareness as well.
Yes, I have. I'm on the College Eco Council this year again.
Wow. And some of the great things that the council has achieved here, the paper cups from the coffee machines have all gone. 28,000 cups you saved each year?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Now, you're in this film with us because you are been a star performer over the years. Fundraising.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome. fundraising, you've always helped us, and we've always been very grateful. I remember when you acted the cocktail. Well, yeah, that was real fun.
Yes.
Yeah. But you actually are a pretty good actor in your own right, and I know that
I am.
Jenny and Sue's class, you were in Antony and Cleopatra.
Yes, I was at the Tempest.
Yeah, in the Tempest.
It was a bit like watching EastEnders.
Yeah.
That's on tonight.
Is it?
I'm having Friday Fizz and watching EastEnders.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
With my mum.
Great stuff. Now then, what about beyond Treloar's? Because after a decade, you have to start thinking of what's going to happen once you leave Treloar's. So what are your plans?
I've got one more year at Treloar's. I'm doing the supported work internship.
And then that will lead you to, when you go away from Treloar's, you have...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to either going to Leatherhead or Lincolnshire doing the supported living. When I leave Treloar's, I would like to represent Great Britain in the Paralympics.
Wow.
At boccia.
Ooh. Now, it doesn't matter what time I see you, morning, afternoon, it doesn't matter what year through your decade I've seen you, you've always been surrounded with friends. And is that one of the key ingredients of what makes Treloar's what it is? The fact that you've always had friends around you? You're quite a sociable chap.
Yeah, I am.
You told us that you were quite nervous when you first came to Treloar's. So what advice would you give to other students who might be just about to come to Treloar's?
There's nothing to be nervous about. Take it in your own stride.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Andre. It's really, really nice to chat, as always. Didn't you say you were going to tell us about the Gawain rat?
Rat.
Oh, rat. I won't ask you about rats then, Andre.
No,
oh dear, it's so good.
Is it lunchtime yet?
Yeah, nearly. We're getting there. Yeah.
Good. I'm joking.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm sure he said rat, but I should know better. There's no rats at Treloar's, of course. Now we're moving on to another close friend at Treloar's, Mr. Alastair Stewart. Many of you who have supported our events over the year will know Alastair has been a commentator at one of our gala dinners. He has been the host of our Glaziers talks over the years. He's now come back to interview someone that he's met previously, Phoebe. They have joint interests in music, and I know Alastair is desperately trying to get Phoebe to listen to different types of music. But Alastair on this occasion is trying to find out what it was like for Phoebe when she came back to Treloar's after the first lockdown.
COVID-19's disrupted life for pretty well everybody, and for the staff and students at Treloar, it's been no different. But they've struggled on, and at the heart of their ambitions, of course, has been academic pursuit. And I'm thrilled to bits to be joined now by a very dear friend of mine, Phoebe, who I've known for 3 or 4 years, who currently is wrestling with her A-level studies. And Phoebe joins me now from Treloar. Phoebe, great to see you again. How has life over lockdown been for you?
It was really good. I find out I could be more independent.
That is extraordinary. So what tutorials were you doing online and with which members of staff, which tutors?
Every Friday I had a social group with my class. I had a speech therapist lesson. I had my normal subject work and contact with my teacher every day.
Amazing. And I know you don't have to say this because they might be listening, but they are quite brilliant people. And I'm sure you will be a total star when the exams come. But forget about exams for a moment. When we first met, we talked about music and we talked about animals. So what have you been doing in your spare time now that you're 3 years older?
We went out for a walk to get out of the house. I did lots of drawings on my red bubble shop.
How fantastic. Because getting out and about in the fresh air is vital, and that's one of the lovely things about Treloar. Very good buildings, very good classrooms, very good laboratories, but lots of good fresh air. Tell me this, why is it good to be back at Treloar, Phoebe?
I missed seeing everyone, and it was really good being back to normal.
And Treloar is about community. It's always been about people like you and your fellow students. and the staff and the technicians who do so much, but it has been a tough time. What do you think has changed, Phoebe, at Treloar because of this wretched COVID pandemic?
All the staff have to wear PPE and all the cupboards have plastic over the cupboards. People zoom in for some meetings and some visitors Zoom. Also, we have to stay in bubbles.
Yeah, that's quite strange to see them in their PPE. Final question, and you may need a little time to think about this. One of the things we talked about when we last met was about music, and I asked you to try out some classical music as well. It can be I can see your smile. It can be a yes or no answer. But look me in the eyes, Phoebe, and tell me: have you given classical music a bit of a go rather than just all that pop stuff?
You must be joking.
Good luck with the exams when they come round, Phoebe, and it's been a real joy talking to you. You take care, and I will see you again soon. No better way of capturing the humanity, the bravery, and the sheer brilliance of Treloar. Phoebe Leach. Ask her a cheeky question, you get the cheekiest of answers.
Well, thank you, Phoebe. Thank you, Alastair. I think that's a bit of a forlorn hope, Alastair, getting Phoebe to listen to classical music. I think she knows the genre that she's interested in. But talking of music, this is the highlight of the evening, the stars of the show. This performance was made possible by the Director of Music at Treloar's, Miss Jocelyn Watkins. But before we go to the performance, let's meet some of the young people that are going to perform for you.
My name's Evie and I like cooking.
My name is Phoebe. I am in 6th form at Treloar's.
Hi, my name is Elodie and I like pizza. I like the colour pink.
Hello, my name is Keely. I like Adele playing clarion and watching funny clips on YouTube.
My name is Ben. I am 11 years old.
My name is Rachel. I like eating pizza.
My name's Daisy and I love music. I enjoy being back at Treloar's because I like the lessons.
What's it like being back at Treloar's? What's it like being back at school?
It's been good, but it's been a bit weird.
I don't like staff wearing PPE.
You've said, I find it very difficult being back at school because you like being at home.
I like coming to Treloar's. It is fun and exciting.
I like seeing my friends at school.
You don't know? Who do you get to see?
Rachel.
And who's Rachel?
My friend.
Do you like being back at school? You like it? Can you tell me why?
Friend.
You see your friends at school?
I love listening to my favourite artist.
And Ben, what do you like?
Minecraft.
Is there anything else that you like?
Snakes and ladders.
Ah, snakes and ladders.
My favourite thing to do is to do reading.
Why do you love music, Daisy?
Because you're the best.
I really love music and enjoy performing clarion.
And what's your favourite lesson?
Music.
Thanks, Evie.
Well, wasn't that wonderful? Absolutely amazing. We thank you for your support and all that you've done for us over the years. But if you are able to donate, this would be the time to donate now. And this is how you do it.
To donate, you can call our donation line on 01 420 547 477. Visit us online at treloar.org.uk/support-us or text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message.
Ladies and gentlemen, this gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Miss Jocelyn Watkins, our Director of Music. Over the years, I've introduced Jocelyn in many capacities, whether it be carol concerts, performances, or indeed the gala dinner, where Jocelyn has brought students up to perform at Mansion House on many occasions. No further ado, let's go over and meet our Director of Music, Miss Jocelyn Watkins.
Music is a form of self-expression that is very important for our student. It connects them to each other, connects to our soul, and at this time in particular it's been very difficult for us to communicate effectively, and music and performing together is all about communication. I chose this piece of music because I feel at the moment we are an impression of our former selves. Unfortunately, we cannot be with you at Mansion House to give you a wonderful live performance, but hopefully this will give an impression of what we can do at Treloar's, what we can offer our students, and how wonderfully talented they are. For this performance, our students will be using clarion, which is a new technological instrument provided by a wonderful organisation called Open Orchestras. Unlike other instruments, it adapts to the students' needs rather than the other way around. In the following video, you'll see students accessing clarion in 3 different ways. The first is on an iPad using touch. The second is with smart navigation, where the student wears a little dot in the middle of their forehead and this connects to a little camera. And the third one is there'll be one student using her eyes to play. Clarion is amazing because it enables the students to be expressive. They can perform with different tempo, different dynamics, and of course different pitch. And it allows all of my students to play, no matter their different abilities. All of our students are very special, but I hope you'll agree that together they are really something quite unique.
Wow, that is just simply amazing. You met the young people and you know the level of disability of some of the people that you've just seen perform. I just think it's wonderful. 2020 has been a very strange year for all of us. In terms of Treloar's, it has been an enormous challenge, and I'm sure all of you have been challenged by this dreadful COVID-19. I would like to thank you all for your support, and a particular thank you to the Lord Mayor yet again, and to the entire livery movement for the kindness and generosity that you have shown us over so many years. Thank you.
Well, all that's left to say is thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the performance. Please do donate in whatever way you can. It will be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
Well, it just remains for me to say thank you for watching. This has been a departure for Treloar's, a live social media broadcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. I would like to say thank you to everybody who took part, the Lord Mayor and Alastair Stewart. There's also a large team of people behind the scenes who made this possible. But of course, I also would like to thank Owen, Phoebe and Andre for their wonderful contribution and their time in making this possible. And of course, Miss Watkins and the amazing Treloar's Orchestra. You still have time to donate this evening. And if you don't donate this evening, there'll be a few days online where you'll still have the opportunity. I hope that you'll be able to donate. I'm sorry to keep asking, but it is my job as the Director of Fundraising to try and raise some funds. And hopefully, all being well, we'll be able to go back to the glorious Mansion House and have a more traditional gala dinner next year if things work out. Thank you all very much. Good night.
You can donate by credit and debit card or pledge by calling our donation line 01420 547 477. Or you can donate online at treloar.org.uk/support-us. You can also text to donate. Just text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message. To donate by pledge or credit and debit card, please call our donation line on 01420 547 477. You can also donate online at treloar.org.uk/support-us. Simply text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message. To donate, you can call our donation line on 01420 547 477. Visit us online at treloar.org.uk/support-us or text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message. You can donate by credit and debit card or pledge by calling our donation line 01420 547 477. Or you can donate online at treloar.org.uk/support-us. You can also text to donate. Just text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message. To donate by pledge or credit and debit card, please call our donation line on 01420 547 477. You can also donate online at treloar.org.uk/support-us. Simply text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message. To donate, you can call our donation line on 01420 547 477. Visit us online at treloar.org.uk/support-us or text 2020 Mansion to 70085 to donate £20. Texts cost £20 plus one standard rate message.